Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. I never get tired of that intro, do you? Anyway, today we're going to talk about Roger McBride Allen's fantastic Corellian Trilogy here. The three books were called Ambush at Corellia, Assault on Selonia, and Showdown at Centerpoint. There are some excellent new characters in here. Ebrium, who is a Drawl, one of the inhabitants of Corellia. There are three different types of species, including human, that live on Corellia. And this Drawl is there hired by Han and Leia to kind of teach their kids Corellian history. And Q9X2 is the droid that accompanies him. So those are the new characters that are introduced here, and it's really cool. Now along the way, we find out that Corellia system is really unhappy, man. Their money's being drained. They don't think they're benefiting much from being a part of the New Republic. And there is some insurrection, talks of insurrection, Corellia breaking away, just going on its own. And in this one, they find out that the leader, it's the evil society, the separatist here, is basically called the Human League. And it's led none other than Han Solo's cousin, Thrackan Sal Solo. Now, Thrackan Sal Solo looks just like Han Solo, but with a beard. And the kids are like, whoa, you look just like Dad. And so they get to tour some of the systems and the areas around Corellia, and then of course everything, chaos breaks loose. The Corellia is trying to proclaim their own independence. Thrackan Sal Solo is stirring the pot, trying to get a bunch of people rallied behind him, and his claim to fame is this big station called Centerpoint Station, which he knows is a weapon that's manufactured to, well, not supposed to do this, but it can destroy stars. All right, and so that, once he gets it operational, once he figures out how it works, then with this super weapon, he can, basically conquer the galaxy. Now, here we go again. We have another super weapon in Centerpoint Station, though, of course, it wasn't meant to be a weapon, but it can be used as a weapon, and yet no one complained. But when Kevin J. Anderson did it, everyone complained. Go figure. But that's not the best part of this story. Lando and Luke have their own side storyline, which is fantastic. Lando has decided that he's going to get married. Yep, it's time for him to get hitched. It just makes perfect business sense to him. And he takes Luke along for street cred. Basically, hey, Luke would be the perfect, wingman. Hey, I know Jedi Master Luke. What's up, ladies? I mean, it's classic Lando, and I absolutely love this. And Lando is looking for love. And one of the ways Lando looks for love, he finds this life witch. He doesn't know she's a life witch at first, but she promises him an extravagant life. He's going to be fantastic, and he's going to die very quickly because she's going to slowly be sucking the life out of him throughout the years. And at first, Lando doesn't know that. He just thinks, hey, the lady's rich. She's promising me riches. Hey, this is what I want, I'll be her sugar mom. She'll be my sugar mama. I'm fine with that. And Luke's like, I think there's more than meets the eye here, Lando. And it's a narrow escape. Lando's like, whoa, that's the agreement? So that was kind of funny. And then later on, he finds Tendra, who turns out later on to be the woman of his true love. And what do I think about Tendra? I love Tendra. I love Tendra as a character. Sadly, Tendra gets put on the back burner for the rest of the expanded universe after this. I mean, she's there, and she may have some speaking roles, but her adventures kind of end after this. She's basically just someone married to Lando, and like I said, Del Rey just kind of threw Lando, on a shelf and didn't use him that much. But Lando and Tendra, it was a nice relationship. Of course, later on, they would go on to have a kid, which we'd hardly get to know. But Lando and Tendra, I like that coupling together. I thought Tendra was a great character, and eventually, Lando's like, you are the gal for me. So Lando gets married. Hooray! Yay, good for Lando. He's happily ever after. Now, as for Thrackan Sal Solo, not so much. Because even though he has this big battalion, this army here, he's gathered around, he still has to get Centerpoint Station to work. But too late, because Anakin, young little Anakin Skywalker, is the first one to touch, and he imprinted his, by accident, his touch, his fingerprints. Anakin's imprinted as the only person who can control Centerpoint Station. And Thrackan Sal Solo is trying to get Anakin to use it for his purposes. Anakin's not doing that at all. And of course, Thrackan Sal Solo will be captured and put away because he is, the bad guy, of course. Now, one of the coolest things about this is it starred for the first time I think ever, we got the death of a previously discussed character from someone else's novels. Gariel Captison from Truce of Bakura. She comes back into this, and Luke is asking the Bakurans for, because they have some ship technology that they can break through the shields that Thraken Sal Solo's using. He's like, hey, we need your ships, we need you to help us out. And so she agrees. Remember, she and Luke were at a crossroads for Truce of Bakura, but then eventually became friends. So this is her going, yeah, I'll do it. Let's go. And I remember this scene that Luke sits down because the daughter's scared. Why are you taking mommy away? Because I think the father had died. He died of a disease a while back. And the daughter is so scared because Luke's taking away her mommy and she didn't have a daddy now. And Luke's like, hey, I promise she'll be safe. Well, during the battle, they get tricked. And these ships they go to, they're going to battle against, they find out that the windows are painted on there, which means they're just battering rams. They're not even manned. And so then they just suicidally just slam in to some of the cruisers, Barucan cruisers, and they kill Gariel, which is fantastic. I mean, fantastic, but it's sad, but it's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I was like, holy cow, did they just kill? Because remember, this is before Del Rey. I rarely, besides, the X-Wing books, I never seen characters die like that. And you thought, oh, okay, great, they brought her back. Wait, they killed her? What is going on here? So I was like, and I want to know, did Roger McBride Allen ask permission from Kathy Tyers? A lot of times they didn't have to, but it was the polite thing to do, say, hey, I want to take one of your characters and kill them off. And I don't know. I never found the answer to that. But it was kind of shocking to see. And but the only miss, by the way, this is a fantastic trilogy. You should read it. It's awesome. I think it's my brother's favorite EU novels, is the Corellian Trilogy. Now, he hasn't read, I think he stopped in the Bantam era. He didn't read anything in the Del Rey era, but he says that the Corellian Trilogy is still one of his favorites. And the thing is, it's very good. It's awesome. It's well worth your time. But they never concluded what would happen when Luke went back to tell that girl that, hey, I couldn't save her. I wanted to see that. Now, later on, we're going to hear what happened with that. But I thought that was like, a loose string, and it kind of bothered me that Luke never went back, because that was a poignant scene where the daughter, it gets a promise from Luke that he's going to keep her mommy safe, and he doesn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, how's he going to go back and tell her? He's not, I guess. Moving on to the next adventure. That's the only bad thing that irks me about this trilogy. Other than that, it is fantastic and so well worth your time. All right, folks, that's it for now. I'll see you next time with another video.